Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. It's Friday, April the 6th, the year 2018. Let's talk trading weekly wrap up. Okay, I'm back in the saddle. And just to let you know, I was in Sun River, Oregon at the Oregon Emergency Preparedness Workshop. I learned a lot, but none of it really has to do with trading, except maybe for one small thing, and that has to do with trust. Trust is something that can be hard to earn, but it sure can be easy to lose. And I got to meet some of the head people at FEMA, the head people at the Oregon Emergency Management Department, and some others, sheriffs. Um, anyway, but one of the things that was definitely, I definitely gleaned from participating is that you have to maintain trust. So as traders, we have to trust ourselves for sure. And we I don't think there's too many of us that really trust brokers or you know different vendors. And I guess that kind of goes almost with the whole world. I mean, there's just trust is just something that there's just not an abundance of, there seems, because it just doesn't seem people are trustworthy, and therefore the organizations that they work for and represent aren't trustworthy. But I don't want to beat that too much. But it's just something to think about. So you have to like check yourself and make sure you are trustworthy. And part of being trustworthy is you have to stick with your rules. And hopefully, money and risk management rules are in place in your trading plan. So, we talk about consistency, we talk about habits and all that, but I mean, it gets down to a matter of trust. I mean, are you trustworthy? Are you trustworthy to handle your money properly? Are you trustworthy to execute your trading plan properly? Because you see, if somebody else didn't execute your trading plan for you properly, you wouldn't trust them. So it gets back to, you're going to have to be trustworthy yourself. So let's see how things are looking this week. Well, look at dollar Canadian. It had hit last week's high, turned around, and now has breached last week's low. So you got stopped out here, most likely. Let's see. Yeah. Well, no, we got 4 pips. Maybe you scratched that trade or took a 2 or 3 pip profit there. But then if you came down and reversed here, this nice breakout to the south, that would have been really sweet. Let's see here. Let's put on this little tricky. Here you hold down the mouse. Yeah, it's worth about 84 pips to the downside. Not a bad trade. And as you can see, once again, this week we had gap fills. And let's drill down to the daily. You can see here we're in yesterday's upper wick zone. We had broken out to the south side here, but now we're coming back up through, crossed above yesterday's open into the wick zone. And you can see here we've got some nice ranges on a couple euros, and on the pound pairs, nice ranges. Now I can see I need to do something here. Maybe let me do it while you guys are watching so you can see how to do it. Because I might want to know this. So we need to move this up. So first we need to move up the multimeter candle color. Now this is going to be tricky. You see here it's already at 0. So we're going to need to move it up, say minus 15. You can see here it popped up a bit. Now we're going to need to move the dashboard up. Let's move that up 15. If I remember correctly, where is it? guess it's near the, somewhere near the top. Here you go, my chart Y. So let's put that at 45. And you can see here that's moved. Now we can see dollar Japan. So that's how you work that when you want to work on your templates. Because this worked fine on my old computer, but you can see on my new computer it's different. Even though for some the resolution's the same. Oh, and just by the way, for you guys know that I bought a new computer. This is a Dell Inspiron 15 3000 series. It has the i3 processor. But I also bought another new computer, which is the another Dell, but it has an i5 and it also has a solid state hard drive. So I'm going to be working that computer into the mix, and I decided I'm going to have, you know, two computers. So in case one craps out on me like the last time, I've got another good computer to use. You know, my gateway that I use for when I open the Pal Talk room, that's really about the only thing it gets used for. That had to serve as my backup. I just don't really like the gateway, but you know, it works. It's just a personal preference. I think gateway's POS. Okay, back to trading. Here we go. We see the open dollar Canadian. It popped up here in the buy zone, but we usually don't trade here. Getting into the later Asian session, you can see here in the London session, it came crashing down through the open. And once again, you might have either scratched that trade, and then, you know, third time it reversed. You shouldn't even have entered. That had been strike 3, you're out. But it came screaming back across the open through the buy zone, and there was the trade right here, right there. Yeah, Harry hindsight. Oh, and you can see I added the pivot. Reason I did that was because, you know, we look at pivots later, but you can see here fading the pivot paid off once, twice, 3 times, but the first time is the only time that really counts, just to let you know. And we've got the rat zone. You see here it came out of the zone. Nice rat trade here. We've got what, 63 pips, so there's definitely enough room. I like to see at least 60 between the high and the low, so that way you've got 20 pips in between. Usually there's some pips to be had when you have that situation. And here we go, looking at the pivot once again. We've got the open, we hit the pivot, profit. Price action, classic. You've got a 2-ball here. It was red at the line. You got a 3-ball here. It was green at the line. What more do you need? Now, somebody sent an email, trader, and they asked if about if there was a 4-ball, 5-ball. Yeah, way back in the day when 3 clips, we were all on our favorite pirate forum. Reason I don't mention it by name is because since I post these videos on various forums, I don't want to be afoul of forum rules, even though I think they're stupid. But it's kind of like when you visit, if you think of forums as foreign countries, you go to a foreign country, you have to be respectful of the rules, even if you think they're stupid, because otherwise you can get banned from the country, right? So that's kind of the way I'm looking at it. So I try to stay within the rules. Sometimes there's conflicting rules, but once again, it's their country. They get to run it how they want. Or it's their forum. They can run it how they want. So once again, there's your price action trade. And we've got our 5 lines. Here, let's expand that a bit. Oh, just the shading here. That's on the... for those, who may have come late to the game. Where did I do that? Shade. Added so many things here. Well, here's where the shade colors are. Oh, shading right here. Shade the day, shade the previous day, or shade to the right of the current, because one of my trading buddies wanted that, so I tried to be nice and put that in for him. So here you go. Expand it. We've got 5 lines from yesterday. Trading with candle color at the line once again proves to be profitable. Now, just for those who might be late to the game, let's see, 1, 2, 3 hours ago, let's say you turned on your computer and price had already crossed this line. Should you take this trade here if this is all you're looking at? I might trade it light. I might say okay and keep, or I would trade it normally, but I might put a tighter stop on it, because you might have some crisscross action like here. So, but then again, you could say 1, 2, 3, it breached these lows, so maybe you could take that trade at the line, or maybe you just jumped in because you saw that breach. But usually if you missed the first line of a turn like this, wait for the next opportunity. There'll be another bus, another trade, right? No reason to push your luck. And here we've got the wick zones. Price doesn't like being in the wick zone. You can see it came out here, it came out here, it came out again, entered, and came out again. So we can see where we are. We can see where there's a short opportunity. Now, I think yesterday I had didn't I have the dollar yen up? I think. Let's just switch over for a second. I think sometime there was a, when I made the video, or was it no, I think it was on the holo. There was a holo trade here that would have paid off nicely somewhere. Let me switch over to H1. Yeah, there was a holo trade, highest open here, right there. And as you can see, that would have paid off real nice. Another hairy hindsight trade, right? Oh, I'm having too much fun with that hairy hindsight comment. It's just too funny. So let's go. Okay, so we see the wick zone. Usually I have this M15. No, wick zone is usually H1. It's the holo. I usually have M15. And you can see here you had an M15 candle open here, bust down through right here. You can see here it tested that low 1, 2, 3 times, turned around, and a holo trade buy from here would have paid off nicely. Another great hairy hindsight trade. But the funny thing is see, you get the setups in advance, so all you have to do is take them. So it's not really hindsight, because it's not looking any different now than it did at the time. That's the beauty of this method. Okay, you can see I just recently turned the computer on, not much there. So, fellow traders, I hope you had a really good week. I think next week there may be a surprise or two in store, just depends. Things are getting busy because of all the different things outside trading I'm involved with. But no matter what, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne signing off to enjoy the weekend, and you do the same.